The fuck? Whatever. Alright, let's get right into it. Another episode. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into this sports talk. Or the sports talk to myself. Alright. Alright. I seen this one earlier. I want to get into Pacers are dangerous underdogs. Stephen A. Smith and Gilbert Arenas break down Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Let's see.
The Thunder have been better at home this postseason, as the guys just mentioned. They posted 10-2 record while recording a 5-5 record on the road after last night's defeat to the Pacers in Indiana. So, Gil, with that being said, the Thunder 8.5-point favorites right now. Who do you think has the edge in Game 7?
OKC. You know, how they've been playing at home versus this team. Like, we can talk about how Indiana looked in the fourth quarter in Game 1, but before that, they wasn't even on the same planet. They were getting their butts beat off. Game 1, Game 2, but Game 5, right? It hasn't been a great outing for Pacers in that building. So when you're talking about going back to Game 7, OKC has the advantage. Even though no one is counting Pacers out, but at the end of the day, they don't play very well in the first quarter or the second. So if they go all the way to the third quarter, in 5 of the 6 games, they've been down minus 6.5, 7 points.
But Gil, I mean, everybody's counting out the Pacers. I mean, they're one of the biggest underdogs in finals history.
I don't think they count them out now.
I mean, not now, but still, I mean, 8.5. It's 8.5. That's 8 and a hook. Yeah. In the NBA Finals, after you just smacked the team by 17, you're up close to damn near 30. And all the, by the way.
That's disrespectful?
Yeah, I think it's
reality. It's reality.
Well, reality can be disrespectful too.
You're down 9 at the end of all 3 quarters in 5 out of 6 games. What is that?
Because we're talking about the inability to close out. And that's the special it factor that Indiana has down the stretch. And
I don't know. I feel like this finals is like taking over my life a little bit, but just because you can't really call it. It's just hard to call it right now because obviously the favorites is OKC Thunder. But how Gilbert Arenas was just talking about how they don't play good in the first quarter. Doesn't that sound like a resilient team? Because on the other hand, but what I'm talking about is the Pacers don't do good in the first quarter. But so OKC does good in the first quarter. So if they don't have a first quarter, then you go with Pacers then, right? Because Pacers have been resilient the whole playoffs. Granted, OKC's already won a Game 7. Not last series, but the series against Denver. So that puts them in, that gives them a little bit of experience, but I feel like Pacers have just had this type of postseason. Just a fucking battle every fucking time. So to me, I'm giving them the advantage. I want them to win because I don't like how they're overhyping OKC. They're like calling them elite already. Like it's like the elite season that they may have had it's not even over yet, and it's like I see these scenarios on First Take. Is this the one of the greatest teams of all time? It's like they haven't even won the championship yet. They had like a really good regular season, even though my Warriors beat them twice. But I don't know. I think they're just overhyped. Granted, they're in the finals. Incredible job getting here, but I just think they're overhyped to where like you act like Pacers like can't win the series. There's one fucking game left, so obviously they're not that elite. If this team that wasn't supposed to make it anywhere is right in their face about to take the championship away from them, so I don't know. Sometimes they make it seem like more far off than it really is, but I can see Pacers winning this shit. But yeah, let's continue. Comparison. The only reason they're bringing that up is because what was Scottie Pippen? He was fucking Michael Jordan's Robin, his number two. And obviously, that is what Jalen Williams is to SGA. SGA was getting trampled by the coverage, even though he still be making some fucking incredible shots. But nevertheless, his number two, Jalen Williams, had that fucking 40 points in Game 5 when he needed to step up as the number two, become the number one. He did. So that's why they're doing that, but they always got to put that little extra shit because the Bulls are looked at as like, you know, one of the top dynasties ever. I say number two. I got to say the Warriors is the top dynasty ever because, you know, Steph Curry beat and the Warriors beat LeBron, you know, in the LeBron era. And honestly, as a Warriors fan, going into that first finals where we played the Cavs, like, people could talk all the shit they want, but there's no way I thought we were going to win that series. Like, and I think even after game one, where I'm like on eggshells, LeBron has like 50. Like, I was like, man, we ain't making it out of this fucking series. And we did. So that's what basketball is all about. So, yeah.
I think Game 7 is going to be a throw.
It's like fourth quarter with the track record. Who are you going to? Or who do you have more faith in? Me? Tyrese. I mean, even in this series, game one, there's no way I thought they were fucking winning. All of a sudden, they cut it close, and then he's fucking hitting that big ass jumper. The whole this shit against New York, like he's already been through it. The fucking big bucket late against Giannis in the first round. To me, against the Cavs, he had his best, series. He just statistically, so as far as SGA, he's definitely put up the stats, but he hasn't had that moment where he has to be clutch. Just stacking stats, he's definitely like done that when they needed to and been, clutch as far as that. But when there's one shot left, he has not been in that moment yet. So like Stephen A just said, palms get sweaty. So let's see how he is in crunch time, but let's see if he even gets that opportunity. So because they're talking like, oh, it's going to be within 5 or 10 points. That's how they make people tune in, because I'm pretty sure they've been saying this is the lowest ratings finals in like 20 years, which sucks. It's like it just kind of sucks, and these guys are probably hate hearing this, but it's just like this is the new path of the NBA. Like, these are the new guys you're just getting introduced to. So, yeah. Because, I mean, say, like, Tyrese Halliburton, what you know about him is, going into the finals, is his dad ran out on the court. He did the choke. Like, very minimal things. SGA. He's the product of the Paul George trade. Or he just got the MVP. So it's not a lot going into this, but I think these are the names that you're going to hear, from now on, or at least a few of these guys. So. Jason Williams has been making fucking faces at Stephen A. like the past 2 weeks. It's like, and Jay Will, I've always liked him, and especially when he's a player coming out of Duke and all that shit. And, just unfortunate circumstances after he got drafted as the number 2 pick with the Bulls. Like, I really thought he was going to be the next big thing. But he's been making some fucking stupid little things, or stupid, like, points and takes. He said something like, they're like, are the Knicks crazy because they're not interested in Kevin Durant? And he goes, no, they're not crazy if they land Giannis. It's like, that wasn't the fucking question. They're talking about KD, like, and then like when Stephen A. is giving his take, he's like, it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. You act like you're fucking Jordan. But yeah, I don't know, rambling.
even if he doesn't play to 100%, even if he doesn't play a lot of minutes, you see the impact that Tyrese Halliburton has on this team when he's just on the floor. He was electrifying, just being aggressive, getting downhill, getting other guys involved. I've been picking the Pacers the whole time. I'm going to stick with the Pacers. He's probably not their best player. I think that's Pascal Siakam, but he's their most important player. So I'm going to go with Tyrese Halliburton. He's the guy I'm going to keep my eye on. I want to see if he's getting down here early. I want to see if he's pushing the pace. I want to see if he's aggressive, because also if he's aggressive, that helps him get other guys involved, because he's a threat to score first and foremost.
Who's the player to watch in Game 7, Marquis?
I would say Jalen Williams from OKC, right? If he comes out with the spark he's had, not last game, but the game, but the 2 games before that, or just the entire finals, I think it would be Jalen Williams. I think he has to come out and set the tone, because when he comes out and he's taking 20 plus shots and he's looking for his shot over and over, that makes him a better team. So I'm gonna go with Jalen Williams on this one.
Fascinating juxtaposition. In Game 5, he scored 40 points. Last night, his plus-minus was -40. So I like that take. As J-Dub goes, so go the Thunder. How about you, Alan? Who's the player you're watching Sunday night?
The MVP. It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You're playing at home. You're the MVP. The last time an MVP lost in a Game 7 was the last time we had one in the finals.
Newly acquired Desmond Bain officially arrived in Orlando.
Get more on this KD shit.
Things of change with the Windman. Give me the things you will have your eye on and we should be following as the offseason begins next week.
So, Greeny, free agency is not that big of a thing this year. There's only a few, difference-making free agents, and there's not much salary cap space. So the bulk of the offseason action is likely going to happen in this next week, in and around next Wednesday and Thursday's draft. So expect to see action and the major roster maneuvering in this period, not so much the first week of July, which is what we were used to. Now, as far as the signings mattering, there is something interesting with signings, but it's going to be about extensions. What players extend their contracts, and what does that mean? If a player extends, great. If he doesn't extend, now we've got a problem. That's going to start with Luka Doncic. Luka cannot extend right now. He's got to wait until August 2nd or after. But the Lakers need to make sure he gets into a contract, Greeny. It's a vital thing. He has 1 year left after this year. He can opt out next summer. The Lakers don't want to have that happen. They feel pretty good. They have a new owner. They got to get that. They got to get that done, and they have a month to show him that they're going to get their roster in a really good place. Also, Nikola Jokic can sign. Now, I'm not worried about Nikola Jokic. He's a low drama player. He's got 3 years left on his contract. But right now, the Nuggets don't even have a general manager. They seriously have not named a general manager replacement to Calvin Booth, who they fired 2 months ago. And the draft is next week. Ben Tenzer is their acting general manager. Is Jokic cool with everything that's going on? He'll let everybody know if and when he signs that contract extension. And then this one is really super interesting. Ja Morant. Now, Memphis is in the middle of some level of change. They changed their roster around by trading Desmond Bain last week. Ja Morant has 3 years left on his contract. Again, I'm not sitting here saying that this is a referendum on his entire career. But my question is, are the Memphis Grizzlies offering Ja Morant a contract extension? Because if they don't, what does that say? Actions over words. And now I want to bring it to the big trade of this next week, which is Kevin Durant. This is obviously going to probably control a lot of what happens next week. Durant is on the trade market. The Suns are very active on the trade market. Greeny, I have been talking about the triangle for months, the Durant triangle, the alignment that you need of a place that Durant wants to go, a trade that comes back that the Suns will do, and a contract understanding. Either the team trading for him being comfortable with him on a 1 year deal, or the willingness to give a 37-year-old a 2 year, $100+ million contract extension.
The last thing I heard is, that everybody hears, if you keep up with ESPN and the KD trade saga, is that they're kind of trying to force him to Minnesota, which I think is kind of good. It's like be the second dude there. I mean, if you think of you don't know who Phoenix is gonna want. I feel like they're just gonna want a big man or something. I have a feeling like that. That they'll probably want Randall. Randall or Gobert. And if you just throw KD in that shit still, they're fucking stacked. You know, and I think this could give like a year to Anthony Edwards too, where the pressure it'll be on him, but like it won't be as like in his face, and it'll give him another year to grow and shit. And like, you know, he don't want to be that face, but be the man that everybody wants him to be in the league as far as basketball. But I think it would be a waste if he went to the Spurs. And Houston, they sound like they're not fucking with it. So it's kind of like, where the fuck are you going? And why is not... Shit. My bad. Why isn't Golden State going after him? Like, I think at the trade deadline he didn't want to go to Golden State, but it's like, why not? You play with Curry again. Fucking Phoenix would get Butler, and Butler originally wanted to go to Phoenix. If you remember, he sounds corny, but he was like, you know, coloring his braids like orange and wearing his fucking shoes, the Phoenix Suns colors. So why not just fuck with that? And then I could totally see Durant, like, we would go on a run this year with the Warriors, and then what, he needs another 2 years? Fucking, we can sign him. Or maybe even, you know, we give up Butler, and then we sign and trade Kuminga over there too. You know, just as that's another, you know, real big asset that we have right now. So, especially because I think Kuminga played pretty good in the playoffs. So, who knows, man? There's so much drama in sports right now. All right, let's get back.
And I know the way Mad Dog has referred to this. He seems to think that it's most important that Durant agrees and that the Suns are trying to make Durant happy. That's not it. That part of the triangle is predicated on the team making an offer if Durant doesn't want to be there. If you think Durant's going to be a rental, you are offering less. The Suns want a premium price, and that's why they've been trying to work with Kevin Durant, and that's why that's a key thing to watch in the next few days.
If you saw, that's the interesting piece of it here. And if you saw Shams yesterday on McAfee's show, he said neither the Suns nor most of the other teams want this to make it to the draft. They want this deal done ASAP. The draft begins on Wednesday, so this is imminent here.
KD is the fucking Aaron Rodgers of the NBA.
Tell me where you'd like to see Kevin Durant be playing by the time we get to this time next Friday.
Me personally, same thing I said earlier. I would like him to be playing South Beach, man. I think it sets up perfectly to be on a team with guys like Bam Adebayo that does it all, right? The culture of winning in Miami. You have another elite scorer in Tyler Hero, but he could step right in and be the ultimate scorer that he has been, right? And there's no shots at other coaches. For the little bit of time that I played in Miami, that was the best brand of basketball that I've been a part of. Spo does a great job of getting the best out of guys, and I think that's the perfect spot for him, man. The East is wide open, and, you know, if you can flourish there.
I just hope that UD's smile alone is not considered tampering. I think that would be my only concern here. UD, I don't know exactly what you're allowed to say about this, but what are your thoughts on Kevin Durant?
An hour ago, what's at stake for the Pacers and Thunder in Game 7 of the Finals?
Hard-fought games. The stakes do not get any higher.
Two of the greatest words in the world. Game 7.
There's nothing like Game 7 NBA Finals.
One game for everything you ever dreamed of.
Puts it in. He is the moment. One game. NBA Finals. Game 7.
Less than 24 hours
all. The Pacers, Thunder, Game 7 on ABC, Indiana. They fought their way back and forced a Game 7 with a convincing win at home in Game 6, but now the heavy favorites look to take it all in Game 7. We've got Jamal Collier from Oklahoma City with more on this final game.
The Indiana Pacers are a win away from pulling off one of the biggest upsets in NBA Finals history. But one final hurdle remains, winning a Game 7 in Oklahoma City. And that means facing one of the best home crowds in the NBA. The Pacers know this winner-take-all game is going to come down to...
See how they set it up? One of the greatest upsets in history of the NBA Finals. How? Thunder have not fucking won anything yet. It's just like, come on. Dude. It's just like the NBA and sports media. They're just trying to relive history, and it's like, no. Like shit like that. Like I know it's like, it's petty, but it irritates me because it's like the Thunder and Pacers are making their own fucking history right now. Like, I don't know. That's just me.
The intangibles. Taking care of the ball, rebounding, and what Tyrese Halliburton calls momentum-stopping plays to take the crowd.
And see, it says what's at stake for the Thunder and for the Pacers. It's the same exact thing. The first championship in team history. Pacers just have a longer history than the Thunder. Kinda. Considering that they were the Supersonics before. But, yeah.
Out of it.
I think something that's a underrated aspect of the game of basketball is momentum. And, you know, when you're on your home floor and, you make a tough shot or have an alley-oop dunk or make a highlight play of some sort, it gets the crowd involved. That's momentum that goes your way. You got to be able to weather the storm with those momentum swinging plays, try to create, momentum stopping plays when you're on the road. That's important as well.
Each game takes on a different personality, has different characteristics. Different guys
Rick Carlisle looks like fucking
happen,
Jim Carrey. I think I said that the other day. But
the truth is
that
does. Nothing else previous to this matters at all now. We're just down to one game and one opportunity, and so we're really looking forward to it.
The Pacers have been here before. They rallied down 3-2 in last year's second round to win a Game 7 on the road in New York. They'll draw on that experience, but Miles Turner says it's not quite the same. The stakes are much higher. This one is for all the marbles. With the Pacers, Jamal Collier, ESPN.
All right, Jamal, thanks so much. The Pacers, they've gotten to this point thanks in large part to the depth this postseason. 8 different Indiana players have scored at least 200 points during this playoff run. That is the most in a single postseason in NBA history.
With the Pacers 1 win away from history, head coach Rick Carlisle faces the 6th Game 7 of his career with a win on Sunday. He joined Steve Kerr as the only coaches to win 3 road Game 7s in NBA history. For more on him, the Pacers, and OKC, we welcome an NBA analyst, Michael Wilbaum. Michael, you've been covering Rick Carlisle since his college days when he played with Ralph Sampson over at UVA. Where would the Pacers be without him? How much credit should he get in this coaching battle in this series for bringing the Pacers to this point?
Well, in order, I don't think they'd be in the NBA Finals without him, Ryan, and he deserves an enormous amount of credit.
He's only been there 4 years.
One of those people, one of those coaches who has flown under the radar somehow, even though he's one of only 14 people to have won.
You remember, he was the coach when Dirk and the Mavs beat LeBron and the Heat. So he does have a championship with the Dallas Mavericks.
A title already as both a player and a head coach in the NBA. He is certainly one of the smartest and wisest, whether we're talking strategic, whether we're talking about connectivity with his players in terms of getting them to do exactly what is needed during a series or night-to-night basis with adjustments. All of it. It encompasses everything. And so I don't know why exactly Rick has flown under the radar, but people ought to be paying attention to what he's done in this entire postseason and this series.
It's a great point. You talk about Rick Carlisle, 38 playoff wins with the Pacers, more than any other coach in their franchise, in the franchise's NBA history. But you talk about him being under the radar. Indy has pretty much been betting underdogs throughout this entire playoffs. Every game this series. We talk about the Knicks series. Nobody expected them to win that series, yet here they are. Now we're at Game 7. So if they win Game 7, what would it mean for the NBA if the Indiana Pacers were to be world champions?
That's a wow. It sounds sort of fictional, Ryan. Not that the Pacers couldn't do that, but it sounds like Hoosiers. That's what the Pacers are. They are Hoosiers, and it's not a movie. It's a real thing that they're embarking upon. You know, it's interesting. So the small market team that has had the greatest success, I think it's fair to say.
If Indiana wins, it's one of the greatest runs I've seen in my lifetime, just because it's like constant big moments. Like I said earlier, Tyrese has had at least one big moment in every series. So, and it's just huge. It's like he's knocking off. Let's just go. Okay, against the Bucks, he knocked off Giannis. His dad came and ran out on the court with that controversy. It was a tough series with, statistically, where he was putting up numbers against the Cavs. And then the series after that, they played the Knicks. Game 1, he hits that big-ass clanking shot, does the whole fucking choke thing, and then now he's here, the first game, he fucking hit that clutch shot. And, now Game 7, he has a chance to do what he's already proven that he could do. So, it's been a fucking roller coaster, and that's kind of why I hope Pacers fucking win.
In the NBA, and there's been some. I mean, Cleveland Cavaliers, obviously, we're talking small market, but the San Antonio Spurs, should pop to mind immediately. And also, though, when you look at the Pacers, who've gotten this far before to the finals, when you look at OKC, which has been in the finals, I don't know that they're all that different, except the Pacers have this reputation of being the place in America where basketball is as important, if not more important, than any place.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it'll be so different, Pacers from OKC, I know from Thunder, because the league then, Ryan, gets a model where it's not about anybody's big three, where it's not about a super team, where it's not about how much you have to spend. There's got to be some ingenuity, and there's got to be some great scouting and great organization and great infrastructure to put together teams in a smaller market.
Now, we saw the Thunder, right? Game 7 earlier this year, they beat the Nuggets 125-93.
Tyrese be making some fucking
Can the success of that Game 7 have any impact on their performance tomorrow?
You know what, Ryan, maybe temporarily. And I spent this afternoon talking to some people around the league who've been involved at various levels in these high-stakes playoff games and some Game 7s from different organizations. And the sentiment seems to be, obviously OKC is going to have a certain confidence when they walk on the floor. But then we get to the Mike Tyson portion of the program where everybody feels something until they get hit in the mouth, and then you feel something else. And so what happens if Indiana walks onto the, if OKC walks onto the floor with exactly the confidence derived from winning a Game 7 against a recent former champ, but Indiana matches that, with its pace and its sort of ability to protect the ball and not turn it over and play the way the Pacers have played when they've been on it in this series. How long does that last? And so I've been, the reaction I've gotten, the feedback I've gotten directly is, no, these things are very individual and result oriented, and let's see how it plays out and just wipe away all the history that you think you know when you get to Game 7s like this, where human emotion is such a staggering part of it. So I'm going to try to follow those instructions. I'm going to try to listen and learn, Ryan, and go into this with as much a blank slate as possible.
Yeah, they got the Game 7 experience, but they don't have the Game 7 experience against these Pacers and how they've been playing. It's a great point, Michael. We'll have to see how this one plays out. It's going to be a great Game 7 regardless. Michael Wilbon, always great to talk to you, my friend. A lot going on, and we should have known this series would be back and forth from game one. Tyrese Halliburton, clutch once again, giving the Pacers their only lead of the game with 0.3 seconds left on the clock. And they take it. Now, Thunder answered back in game two. League MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the charge with his 9th straight 30-point performance at home, tying Wilt for the longest streak in postseason history. Series shifted to Indy for game three, and it looked like the momentum might as well. The Pacers took the series lead behind a 27-point game from Benedict Mathurin, so that was big. And then the Thunder, well, they needed an answer in game four, and once again, it came from the MVP. SGA did it all himself, 35 points, no assists. First player to do that in a finals game since the logo, Jerry West in 1962. OKC carried that momentum into game five. This time, Jalen Williams taking center stage. Jalen Williams became the second Thunder player with a 40-point game in the finals, joining Russ, who did it back in 2012. On to game six. Backs against the wall for the Pacers. Their D showed up and showed out. 16 steals in the win, most by any team in a finals game since the 08 Celtics. So now, game seven, and here's Tim McMahon on OKC and their home court madness.
The Thunder earned home court advantage throughout the playoff.
Hard-fought games. The stakes do not get any higher.
Two of the greatest words in the world. Game 7.
Nothing like the
Okay, Russell Westbrook's next move. Let's see.
Did Westbrook play his way into a better game this season?
What was the number he signed for?
See that?
What he signed for?
Yeah, it was
1 for 7.
Yeah, it was 2 for 7 or some shit like that. Yeah. It's like a vet. So it's 3.4 on this one, so I think it's like 7. So did Westbrook play his way into a better game this season?
I think so.
It depends on where. Like, he's staying in Denver. I think so.
Where can't Russell Westbrook
I know,
play?
like, teams are scared, though. That's the only thing.
Scared of what? The narrative?
That's about to say,
that's a narrative.
Do you know that Russell Westbrook in 4 games when he was with Washington averaged 22, 19, and 18? And he was 3-1 for 4 games with Washington. 22, 18, 17. Like this dude can do that.
He averaged a triple-double when he played there.
This is no jumpers though. We talking just all Russell Westbrook shit. Just like he knows how to play the game. He's very valuable. He's an asset. He's a spark plug.
They make him a scapegoat too fast. That's the only.
That's because they refuse to let him be what he can be for your team. They try to harness and put a leash on him.
They want to make him stat man.
Stat
man stuff.
Let him play ball, and then if he's not out there with guys who know how to play, you in the way.
He's gonna work harder than everybody.
And he a good dude. I was his teammate. The year he averaged the triple-double the first time. He wasn't what the outside what it looked like. I'm just gonna keep it real. When I got there, I was like, just let me see how this is. I'm used to playing with this type of superstar. Let me see what this type of superstar like. And he was a good dude. Like, yes, he's fiery and ferocious on the court, but like, he cared about his teammates. Like, he planned to win every time. He ain't caring about the stats. He only cared about the win. So if he got to shoot, you hate to say it, but if he got to shoot 22 times, only make 6, but that 6th one is the one that win the game.
He on it.
And so you got to appreciate that style of ball. Yeah, yep. And he go hard, bro. I don't know how he muster up that type of energy every night to play like that.
Want it. You gotta want it. You know what I'm saying?
Most people don't like his style though. We live in the age now where style points what it look like instead of just getting it done.
Yeah.
He get it done. Hall of Famer.
There's young wrestlers in this era.
By the way, some of his stats are some of the craziest ever. They be throwing these other people's stats out there. Some of his stats is crazy.
People like what they like.
Yeah, 4 straight years of triple doubles or 3
straight? 3 out of 4 years average triple double.
And you still put Chris Paul above Russ.
Who did that? Nobody did that.
Do it all the time.
Nobody would never do it all the time. Nobody would never do that.
They got Chris Paul in the top 5.
One of your goats ain't that.
I mean, I had to think about it because I had Christian my 5 over a lot of guys. Over Russ? Over a lot of guys, but that was traditional point guard. That was the top traditional John Stockton, all those guys. Right. And I had Chris in there. Man, you got to go to like, all right, everybody they got game. Everybody that you don't want to face. Russ right there.
When they was in the Western Conference and Russ was in OKC, them point guards didn't want to see.
Didn't want to see that.
Did not want to see that young man.
Gangster. Gangster.
Matter of fact, it was only one or two that could really.
Topics. I feel like I've been talking like same shit for like the past 2 weeks. I'm only gonna watch a little bit of this, but I thought this shit was funny. What's it called? Stephen A. Smith's daughter, like, she got a mouth on her like him. Like, it's hella funny. Like, she's hella like good in front of the camera.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know you're looking for me. You're looking for me to dissect what transpired in the NBA Finals between Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers in Game 6. You're looking for me to talk about Diddy. You're looking for me to talk about some other topics involving President Trump and the NAACP and the city of Memphis and beyond. I'm looking forward to talking about that myself. But somebody's in the way. He's about to take
His fucking daughter.
I'm a dad. What can I say? Sometimes we just ain't the boss. You'll know what I'm saying in a second.
For the longest time, I didn't think he had kids. I thought he was like a little fucking virgin with his fucking hairline.
Alright, hey y'all, welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Over the digital airwaves of YouTube and iHeartRadio, over 1.25 million subscribers. Let's go. Alright, so let's get started with the NBA Finals, where the Pacers dominated the Thunder in Game 6 to force a decisive Game 7 back in Oklahoma City on Sunday, okay? Indy dominated the OKC with balanced scoring throughout the lineup.
I'd be, at that age, I'd be stuttering.
Tyrese Halliburton
knowing that your dad got like, what, like fucking 100 million people watching his ass?
3 minutes. The Pacers were led by Obi Toppin, who dropped 20 off the bench. Meanwhile, the Thunder were held to just 91 points, their fewest in any game since April of 2022. Fun fact. That sets up the first NBA Finals Game 7 since 2016, and it's going down Sunday night in Oklahoma City. Let's go. Here, come here. Hey guys, today it's Sammy. Yesterday night, my dad and I were at the game in, where were we? Indianapolis.
Where were we?
We were in Indianapolis, okay? And I hopped on his show.
He's like putting on an act.
Low-key went viral, not even gonna lie. So here I am because y'all have just been asking for it, and I care.
He's mad because she's getting the spotlight.
So the first thing I want to talk about, I just want to clear up some rumors about my dad, okay? So the first thing I want to say is I know that a lot of y'all think my dad's really loud, he's really outspoken, and at times, let me tell y'all, I definitely agree. However, my dad is one of the most introverted men I know. I like to say this, he's really shy, so if you go up to him in public, he's going to be shy because he's introverted. Don't let him fool you, okay, guys? He does this for you because he cares about his viewers and about his fans. The next thing I would like to talk about, okay? I really need y'all to spam these comments. Bring Samantha back, bring Samantha back, bring Samantha back, bring Samantha back. because I really will talk about anything you guys want me to talk about. I will slow him down. I will quiet him down if that's what you guys need. I'm willing to give the viewers whatever y'all want. I'm open-minded.
I'm surprised he's letting her talk this much.
Say it.
You're not open-minded.
I'm open-minded, okay, guys? We are here to talk about politics, but I think I also want to start talking about current events, okay? So we just had Streamer University, right? Kai Cenat did Streamer University. Guys, I'm trying to tell my dad to hop on Kai Cenat's stream. Don't let him fool you. It will be a hit. I know y'all all want to see it. So we had Streamer University. We had Streamer University.
Damn, his
prom,
hair,
okay?
he's like
We have
going
Love
like this
Island
right now.
Season 7 going
His
crazy.
hairline
Megan
is
Thee
so
Stallion
far back.
just went on Love Island.
Holy
How did we
shit.
get there, Dad? Tell him how we got there.
What's Love Island?
What?
What's Love Island?
Guys, see what I'm saying? Okay, so Love Island is the show, okay? It's on Peacock. It comes on Peacock every night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, okay? And it has all the Islanders, right? Cordell and Serena won last year. Cordell and Serena, if you guys see this, Leah and Miguel, Janae, Kenny, I love all of you guys. I'm huge fans. Kendall, Liv,
I don't
Taylor,
watch that
all
shit.
y'all. But it's huge, Dad. Tell them it's huge.
How do I know if it's huge if I never watch it?
I'm telling you it's huge.
So it's huge. You want me to say it's huge?
That's-
It's huge even though I didn't watch
Yeah,
it?
y'all. Love Island. I'm on it every single night. Okay, you guys. Love Island
I
is
did tell
huge.
Kai tonight I was going to come on the thing. I was going to come.
Kai, let me on too, Kai.
You said me.
God.
Why are you inviting yourself?
I need y'all to spam the chat. Tell him let me come on Kai Cenat's
I won't
stream.
allow that. I won't allow that.
He just has to think on it. He has to think on it, okay? Personally, I also would like to take this opportunity to stand on my pick. I picked Oklahoma City last night to win, okay? We got blown out.
Yes. You
Right?
Thursday night, you did. Game 6, you got blown out. Yes, you did.
Yo, I think a huge part of being in this industry, right, is learning how to take accountability. I'm not sure if my dad does that, but we're working on it, okay? And it's about taking accountability. I take accountability for my pick.
She could have her own show. Why not?
They lost, and we're coming back this Sunday, June 22nd, to win the championship. Tell him.
Yeah, I picked them to win in 7.
Yeah, but I picked it before he picked it, and now he's riding my pick because I said that they were gonna win first.
You picked them to win Game 6. I picked Indiana to win Game 6.
You picked the Pacers to win Game 6, but that was a wild guess.
You mean it's a wild guess?
I said
It was a pick before the
I
ending.
said I picked Oklahoma City to win the entire. I said the whole thing. Take it down. Pull it
Are
down.
you raising your voice at your dad?
Sorry, I'm just really passionate.
Oh, shut up.
I think Oklahoma City is gonna win the championship. My father Steven agrees with me.
Why are they going to win?
All right, well, let me talk to him, right?
Let me help you out.
No, Shay. Shay's why they're gonna win,
Shea
right?
Gilgeous-Alexander.
Absolutely.
The best player.
In the NBA.
Right now, yes.
Right now, today.
Right, they're
He's the
gonna win.
MVP.
Yeah.
His support system, everything. He's been carrying this season. He's
Jalen
been
Williams gonna show up too, but he's gonna be the man.
Okay.
They're gonna be effective. They're gonna be playing better on their home court. Indiana played lights out in Game 6. Give Halliburton credit.
Tyrese.
Give CJ McConnell credit. Give Obi Toppin credit. Give them all credit because they came and they bum rushed after being down 10-2 to start the game. Indiana outscored the Oklahoma City Thunder 88-50 by the end of the third quarter. They were up
God
90-60 to be exact.
What did it
That's
end?
what they've done.
Remind me.
But listen, bottom line is 90-60 to end the third quarter.
All right.
All right. They blew them out of the building. So in the end, what it comes down to is this. Here's my concern: when you get beat down and blown out like that,
Talk
this
to him.
late
Talk
in
to
the
him.
NBA Finals series,
Mhm.
what is that gonna mean for you come Game 7? I got Oklahoma City winning, but I don't underestimate Indiana by any stretch of the imagination. They can beat Oklahoma City.
Absolutely.
I think it's gonna be tight. I think it's going to be a thriller, and I think it's going to come down to the end where the ball is in Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's hands, and the league MVP is going to answer the call, win a championship, and win an NBA Finals MVP.
If we're speaking truthfully, right? A lot of people wonder if I watch First Take every morning. No, I avoid it. If it's in the gym, I leave. If it's in the restaurant, I leave. I don't watch First Take. However, this morning,
You
okay?
can say that about your daddy.
No, I love you, and I love First Take. It's just not my cup of tea.
You don't watch it because you're in school.
Yeah, I'm getting
That's
educated.
the real reason.
I'm getting educated, y'all. But listen.
All right, then. So say that. Don't just say like you don't like the show and you don't watch your dad.
No, it's a great show.
Because you're in school.
Yeah, I'm in school. I'm getting educated, okay, y'all? But let me tell y'all, I was watching First Take this morning, and they were talking a lot about this home court advantage, okay? Home court advantage is a real thing. Now, obviously, y'all are going to be like, oh, Samantha, like, duh. But no, for real. I really think that is going to carry Oklahoma City to the championship, to the chip.
Why'd you say for real twice? Like, for real? How come once isn't good?
Because it's like for real, but not like for real. I just want to say, you guys, it's such a blessing
Old
to be
fart.
here on this beautiful afternoon. I'm just really grateful to be here. Where were we this morning, Dad? Tell them.
Dude, she should have her own show.
We were at Fanatics Fest. Yes, we were. And we had a great time, didn't we, Dad?
Yes, we did.
There was a man dressed up as my dad, and he had on like a bald cap, and his forehead started back here. Also, all the haters that were in the comments saying that I have my dad's forehead. Come here. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I have to work.
Bye, you guys. Thank you so much for having me. I love you all. Please spam Samantha should come back so he brings me back. I know you guys love seeing me. I love seeing all y'all. Have a blessed afternoon, and I'll be back soon. Peace.
Coming up, the NAACP will not invite President Trump to their national convention, a first in the 116-year history of the Civil Rights Organization. I'll tell you why that's a mistake, a big mistake. That and more up next right here on the Stephen Smith Show.
Yeah. It got boring once your daughter got off of there. But it is what it is. Let's see. Okay, T-Mac and C-Web joined the show. They deep dive into the Rockets' outlook. Let's see.
discuss with these guys because this guy won one.
Shut up. He did mention Barry Bonds, so I give it to him for that, but you already know where I stand on LeBron. Jackass. But thank you for tuning in. I will be back. Thanks for tuning in, and I am out.